Okay, so let's start. Who am I? I am a fanatic of clean code. I'm trying to find out any good ways to make our job easier, faster, but in the same time, I'm the guardian of the quality of the code. So do everything what is possible to decrease the effort that we need to put into the coding, however, increase the quality in the meantime. But you are not here because of me. You want to find out the way how to make your code review better, how to make it faster. So what are our goals when we are talking about code review? What do we want to achieve? We want to have really readable code. It's not about the way how we are writing the code, because we will read the code many times more than we are writing it. Sorry. It's about quality of the code, because code review is not especially dedicated for finding bugs. Yeah, you will find some. You will improve the code in matter of performance, in matter of design. But to be honest, it's about quality of your code. How other people will be able to understand the code. It will be descriptive for them or not. Oh, and it's also about knowledge sharing from both sides. As an author of the code, you can share new ideas, you can share changes, you can share things that were modified in your code base. As a reviewer, you can teach other person, you can point the mistakes that they made, you can describe how the code can be improved. Okay, and those are values around the code review. And right now, this is the things that we want to achieve whenever we are doing code review, whenever we are sending the code to the review. Because we don't want to spend 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours reading the code, reading the one review. No, we want to have it fast. It must be possible to do it fast, like this quickie. 15 minutes should be enough to read, understand, and comment good code review. Cool. So to achieve that, those code reviews must be small. If the code review is small, if amount of changes is not huge, then we don't need to put so much effort into it. It takes less time than we even can think about. If it takes not too much effort and not too much time, what is benefit? We will be more willingness to take and look at the code review. We will learn more by reading the code more often. Okay, so make it better. The funny thing about code review is comments. This is all about comments. We are writing a comment when we are thinking about improvement in the code. We are writing a comment when we are sharing our suggestions, when we are sharing ideas, where we are challenging the code in the review. However, the comments can become something really problematic when during my career I read many times a comment like, do it better, improve it, make it faster. Such a comments mean nothing, because as an author, you probably done everything to make this code as good as you could. So any additional comment that will suggest you to improve it, to make it better, faster, and so on, won't drive you. Why? Because probably you are run out of ideas. So never write a comment like that, always at the tip. Make it better by doing this. Make it faster because this solution is slow because of this and this. And by applying this solution, you will make it faster. Cool. Those are comments that will teach someone how to write more efficient and with higher quality code. Another thing, whenever you are adding the comment, think few times, are you ready for discussion? Because there is a huge chance that the author of the code won't agree with you. If they won't agree with you, what would be the result? they will reply to your comment. And it drives to discussion. Discussion takes time. And it's not so rare situation that code that was written in a matter of 1 hour, 2 hours with all of those tests that are needed is waiting in the review for the merge few days. Why? Because we are talking. So whenever we are sharing information, it's okay. Whenever we are challenging the code because it's not so perfect and we are not comfortable to merge it, it's okay. But whenever it's suggestions, idea, tip for future, either don't write it because there will be no replay if there will be no comment, or mark it as a suggestion. Tell the author that you are not expecting any change in this code. This is idea for future. Okay. One thing about code review is about amount of changes. Each code review should be related with one change. There should be only one reason to look at the code. What's the improvement? If one commit is per one change, then you are focused on one thing. If you are renaming the method, make a commit. Why? Because person that will look at this code will look only about renaming the method. If there will be anything else, that's a defect. This is only one change. And it's often happened that I sent once code to the review when I moved split whole block with all if-else statements into a strategies. There was 4 blocks, that means 4 strategies, with one additional interface that could be done better. That was at least 5 commits. But I sent it at once. What's the problem? There is huge effort because reviewer need to switch the contexts. What is related with what? Which change affects the part of the code? Or maybe there is no impact. This is a problem. It's not like putting many changes into one pull request. The time it's like 5 changes means 5 times longer review. No, because there is additional effort. You need to switch the context. You need to understand the implications. That's problem. However, you can send to the review few commits, make a story. In the example that I mentioned, with this strategy, I can extract first strategy, first commit, second commit, another strategy, and to the 4th, then implement interface. Each commit is one change. All commits builds a whole story. A reviewer that is looking at the code have a big picture, so he knows the goal. I want to introduce strategy pattern, and they can look at each step. Great. There is no additional effort about switching the contexts and understanding the impact, because it's solved by those separate commits. However, don't put into one code review commits that can be sent to the review separately. If during the change you notice that some variable is not named as it should, it can be sent to the review as a separate commit. There will be great review to look at. Only one rename. Reviewer will thank you for that. And your code will be merged sooner. So whenever something can be merged with code base separately, do it. Send your code to the review as often as possible. And you will avoid huge pull requests. Let's add a few more things to my story about introducing strategy. Let's imagine that I had to also rename the method, introduce additional parameter. Let's assume that instead of returning the result, my origin class with those all if-else statement returns interface of the strategy. And results is calculated somewhere else. There are too many things. Too many commits make change too big. The problem is not about switching the contexts because it's already solved. However, it's better to have more eyes that will look at your code. That's why whenever you can split it and send it as a separate review. Put few commits into the review only if it's really necessary to understand whole context. In previous project, we had a problem that, not problem, as usual, all other teams, we had our own standards. We had our own rules. The problem was that we were protecting those standards and rules during the code review. It's additional effort. You shouldn't do that. We got tools for that. We got tools for static analysis. We got tools that are checking our coding standards. Use those tools. Code should be in the review after those standards are already fulfilled. There is also one more important thing. If this is automated, fully automated, you are not looking at the code and searching whether the standards were met. No. You are looking at the code and you are see each line where those rules are breaking. This is really important because, to be honest, we are not interested in the places where everything is as it should be. No, we are interested in all of those places that are changed intentionally. We require from the author explanation. We will challenge any situation like that. Whenever we are turning off some check style or some PMD rule, whenever we are turning this off, we will go to the author and ask why. Why you do so? We agree that this is not something that we want to do. We got our rules, we got our standards, and right now we are breaking it. Why? This is the value that comes from such a code review. Code review is about code that can be read. Great. If we can read the code and understand, that means that code is written in a really great manner. That's why I ask you, don't ask for explanation. If you will go to the author and ask them, okay, so in this line, what this code doing, then you are losing this value about readability. You cannot think whether this code is readable or not, because author already explained you. If there would be names like foo, bar, bus, you would understand it because it was already explained. Firstly, of course, you don't know everything. You don't know. We don't know each language-specific methods. We don't know each library. We don't know whole business logic. But we got Google. We got documentations. If we got no documentation, we got friends in our team that can explain that. Can explain all of those mysteries in the code. We got more experienced developer. We got people who are maybe not more experienced in matter of programming overall, but they are more experienced within this project. Ask them for explanation, because there will be two pairs of eyes that will look and challenge the code in the review. If after all of those tries you will still won't have idea what's in the code, that's not the moment that you are going for explanation. No, this is the moment that you know that this code is not readable. You already found the place that no one will understand in matter of months, probably even author. However, sometimes there are really specific types of the code in our application. In example, you need to write really complex and problematic migration on your database. Cool. And your assumptions, as in our project, is that you are sending a code review into the channel and anyone can take it. With such complex, problematic and changes that you are not so sure whether you done it really good or perfectly fine, or at least good enough, then ask the people who can challenge your idea, who can verify whether what is written is really what you want to achieve. As an expert, probably there are people in your team that are oriented in some area. Ask them for help. There is one more thing about fear in code review. As an author and as a reviewer. As an author, you can be afraid that someone will find a really ridiculous issue. You used singleton when it shouldn't be done. You used different implementation of map that you need. Or it can be something really tiny little mistake. You are afraid of that. Why? Because you are so experienced developer. You know really, you have really a lot of information. You work for 10, 15 years, and how it would look like when someone will find something really tiny, and it will be a junior. Don't be afraid of that. Everyone do mistakes. Code review is the place when those tiny mistakes can be found. This is why we are doing code review. On the other hand, maybe you just didn't know about this. Great. You just learned something new. And as a reviewer, you can also have a problem whenever you are doing a review of the code that more experienced guy wrote. Okay, and you really think that you found a bug, but you are not so sure what to do. There is maybe this guy will think that you weren't listening when he explained it to you. Don't worry, write a comment, because there are only two possibilities. Firstly, you found a bug, you found a problem, great. There will be no problem in your code base. There will be no code merged with a problem. There will be no valid assumptions built upon this code. Cool. On the other hand, the other guy can tell you that, no, this is not a problem, this is how it works. Then you will learn something. You will learn something about the language, about the code base, about the standards, about the business that you are working with. This is a win-win situation. Don't be afraid of that. And when we had a conversation in my project about the fear and code review, I heard one great comment from my colleague. During sending a code to the review, we should afraid only one thing, that someone don't notice the problem and we decrease the quality of the code after merge. This is the only fear that you should feel. Okay, so another thing is about the huge changes. Sometimes there is big redesign, big context, and so on. Then it's really important to share your ideas before any code will be written. Why? Because if you will share the design before any code will be written, then each design, your idea can be challenged before work will be done. That's a great improvement. There will be no waste. There will be less waste. Your idea will improve. This is something that you really need. And what's another benefit? When you will send to the review the code, everyone will be on the same page. There will be no need for explaining the context. Okay. There are how much time we have got? Not at all. Okay. Okay, so sorry. So there are also a few things, maybe you would like to talk about it later, so only just to mention. There is problem with emergency code that we need to fix something really fast. It will happen, and I won't suggest you to not merge it, because sometimes it must be done. But really, take an ownership as a reviewer, and after the merge, track whether the code will be changed. It must be done, because not perfect code leads to not perfect iteration above this code. Another thing, when to fix, before or after. My suggestion is do it before. Why? Because if you will spot problems in the code that is in the review and you will merge it, then another people can build their code upon this. So they will treat false assumptions as true. This can lead to huge problems later. And there is a really great problem, because not each code in the review that have great quality feels into the whole big picture of the application. So you should know the context. That's why it's worth to share the idea before the code is written. Okay, and remember that code review is the only one tool in your toolbox. We got also continuous integration. We can pair program. We got TDD. Those are all other tools that we can use to achieve high quality of our code. What is even better, when you got more tools, you feel more safe. Okay, so make it small, do it fast, and don't let your code review to become worthless activity. That's all from me. Sorry for extending the time. Thank you for your attendance. And if you got any question, I'm here.